Take us to about 91 or so. Your mom starts dating a guy, Courtney Brown Sr.
Yes.
Tell us about meeting Courtney Brown Sr. and what was going on at first with him and your mom.
Okay. When I first met Courtney is just a distinguished, she's like the best person. He got me, I'm who I am today because of Mr. Brown. I don't kiss no men asses, I'm very dependent. You know, he made me like that. You know, he wanted me to be like that. Never depend on a man is what he always told me, never. So he was with my mom, I would say maybe 10 years or so. My mom did time in prison also.
Well, so let's stick on that. So at some point, so what age were you when they met?
I would say maybe 18, 19.
Young tenderoni.
Yeah. Very fresh. My mom, you know, she was young. She had me at 15, so she was young and beautiful. You know, we were both beautiful. And she met Mr. Brown and changed our whole life.
This is Motown Mafia.
All right, so you're wrapping up your sentence. We're going back to the beginning of what we will be going over in Motown Mafia Part 2. So it's 83, 82, 83. You're getting ready. You're in the last part of your sentence from the indictment, the 30-man indictment with Eddie. So, and we've just talked about the Pakistani plug, but how did that all come about? How did you end up talking or knowing anybody from Pakistan?
I figured I went back on the violation. I met him in Maryland before I got out. And we exchanged something, but I can't remember exactly. But anyway, when I went back on the violation, we run into together because he was in Springville too.
So when you get violated, you meet the Nigerian connection, and you bump back into the Pakistani connection.
Yes. Pakistani said that, and they felt they could do business with you. So showing up one day, my mother calls me up and say, Courtney, some strange talking guy asked for you. And I gave him your phone number. Was it all right? I said, yeah. Sure enough, he calls me up, and we kick about back in the day when we was locked up together. He said, could I come to Chicago? I said, yeah, I come to Chicago. I just go to Chicago with a couple of my buddies, and him and I talked. And he asked me what was I doing. I said, I'm doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but not too much anything.
So your mother was like this well-known character,
Heroin,
but
King,
attractive and
Heroin Queen Pen in Detroit. She had plugs.
So she had just gotten out too when they met.
Yes.
Oh, how long until their first? So the first trip they made, was that just your mother when she went to Lagos?
No, the first trip we made before we went to Lagos, we went to get a whole bunch of keys.
So he said, well, you know, I got a lot of paperwork, and how much paperwork do you think you may need or want? I said, well, I haven't been doing anything per se. I said, so I don't want to take too much paperwork. I don't know what I can get of it. So he gave me a small amount, which is what I requested for, and I brings it back to Detroit. A week later, he calls me up again. I put him on some money or advance or something. He said, could I pick him up? I said, where was you at? He said, I'm at the train station. So I get to the train station, and he's acting all nervous and stuff. And he said, something happened in Chicago. Could I get him set up somewhere? I said, yeah, I can take you to a motel outside the city until you get yourself together. So he didn't go into detail. So I was in my hotel, and I saw him. Next day we had breakfast. So we meet and have breakfast, and he tells me that his people got busted in Chicago. And there's 10 kilos in Chicago. And he said he don't think they got it because the way it was concealed and stuff. He don't think that they found it. And he said he don't believe it man talk. And he asked me, could I get it? At this time, I'm kind of leery because I don't know, I don't want to get to sell somebody else. So I told him, give me a week to think about it, and I'll try to figure out something.
What do you want to do? My mom said, we going. Courtney say, you sure you want to do that? My mama say, they say we going.
So just to be clear, your mother wasn't someone getting pressed into such. She was down.
Oh, my mama is a trooper. That's what you call her. Yeah, a trooper, just like her daughter. We both troopers. We not telling. We gonna ride it out.
So a week passed, he called me back and said, but brother, did you come up with something? I said, yeah, I think I can come up with something. But protect everybody. So he gave me the address, tell me where the papers was at, and so forth and so on. So I told him I could get him out of Detroit and go to Chicago or New York, whatever it was, and fly back to Pakistan. So I made a arrangement for him to do that. But anyway, that following week, I take a couple people up to Chicago with their address and stuff, and he told me what to do and where the paperwork was at. So I did, and sure enough, we get there, we get all the paperwork and bring back to Detroit. But our other part was, it was in two separate containers, two separate packets. One guy, with the luggage, he took the luggage. One guy, he had the other part of the luggage. So anyway, we get back to Detroit. I only found a container with 5 kilos. And I said, maybe you made a mistake. He said 10. So he calls me up a few hours. How big? I said, well, I picked up the package. He said, was it 10? I said, no. I said, I got 5. He said, did you get the luggage? And I said, what luggage? He said, luggage with clothes in it. I said, no. So one of the guys who get high came to me and said he wanted to blow. And I said, where's your partner? Wasn't he in New York with you? Went to Chicago with you. He said, he's around there doing something. I said, tell him that the guy wanted his luggage. I didn't tell him what was in the luggage. I just told him, bring the luggage back. Sure enough, he bring the luggage back. That was 5 kilos in the luggage.
Which makes a total of 10 that
10.
recovered.
Yeah. In the previous training, I got with Eddie Jr., Fat Frank, Patricia, and a couple of people. That's when they was flipping 100 bundles every other day. Got a day. And in 5 months, I shipped over $1 million in cash to him. There were different financial methods, but
$1 million 5 months
in 5 months.
from that time when you guys got back from Chicago.
Yeah. At that time, I was sitting on $500,000 a month.
Not a bad 5 months.
So you didn't go with her.
I didn't go that time.
So they come back and did you notice like, oh shit,
We rich. It's on. We getting robbed. It's on. It's on. We got shit so strong, you can put a 10 on it. We got them in golf balls where you can throw that bitch and hit it and the bitch still ain't gonna crack. You gotta get a hammer and beat it. Back, back. Then it's gonna bust up, but then it's so strong, you finna die everybody high.